Namaste. Hey everybody, welcome to another gentle session of yoga. You found Yoga with Lisa SXM, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm going to start the music and get on the yoga mat, and I invite you to get on your yoga mat and settle into a comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you. As we go through the next 55-60 minutes together, remember that I'm just giving you a few suggestions and encouragement, but you are in charge of what you are doing, and I suggest you strongly tune inward, focus inward, and allow your own personal inner yoga teacher to guide you through what is best for you. And welcome, Anne. Nice to have you with me today. Thank you for tuning in. So as you start to settle in on your yoga mat, there's a couple things you might want to consider. Some people feel a need, and that includes most of us, I think, to set the hips directly on the earth. So you may want to pull away a little bit of flesh from your hip bones, and then softly straighten the back, not super erect and stiff, but just a soft reaching up through the spine so that you're connected to the earth, but you're reaching for heaven at the same time. You can relax your shoulders and arms and begin to focus on your breath, breathing in through the nose, perhaps, if that suits you, and deep into the belly. Really let your belly expand. Let it be round and soft, and allow it to be heavy. And when you exhale, you can either breathe out through your nose or through your lips or through both at the same time. Experiment, see what works for you. You may want to blow a small stream of air through slightly pursed lips. That works for some people. At the end of your exhalation, perhaps pull that belly in, pull that belly button back towards the spine. Squeeze all the old air out and prep for fresh air coming in as you expand your belly. Fill the belly, the chest, even up into the throat. Let fresh air come into the body and feel it expand and become suspended. And exhale. Squeeze it all out. Let's do that without me talking for 5 breaths. Breathing in and out at your own pace. Feel the urge to sit a little taller, follow that urge. If you feel the urge to drop your head, follow that urge. Listen to your body. It will tell you what you need. Keep breathing. Wonderful centeredness comes over the body when we bring our attention to the breath, centered on the present moment. And perhaps now let's bring the hands to prayer pose in front of the heart, close the eyes, and just use this moment to set an intention for your yoga and for your day. Wonderful. Interlock your fingers and squeeze the hands together and release. Breathing in, we squeeze. Exhale, release. Maybe visualize that these squeezing hands are a reflection of your beating heart. Beautiful. Invert the hands. Push forward, round the back, and drop the head. Slowly lift the hands overhead if that's comfortable for your arms and shoulders and neck. If not, just do a reach that's good for you, wherever that is. Pushing the hands up, but not into any painful reaches, any extreme position that gives you discomfort. Don't do that. And when you're ready, if you like, you can bring the hands to the back of the head and push the elbows back a little bit, pushing the chest forward a little bit. Look up through the top of your eyes and give the eyes some nice, strong, fast blinking as you breathe deep. And then float the hands up again for a nice upward stretch. And then soften the hands back to your heart center with a prayer. Let's take the right hand in a big circle and connect your breath to the circle, breathing in as you reach up and breathing out as you reach down. Good morning. I see we have Dion. Pleasure to have you with us. Blessings on you. We're reaching up, breathing in, bringing the arm down. A big sacred circle, like you're drawing a circle around your heart, around yourself. Taking it slow to get us started this morning. And now I invite you to do it a nice loose movement. Free and loose, not an extreme reach, just circling with freedom and looseness. You can be expressive, like a dancer. Awesome. Let's let that hand float down to the earth next to your hip, and the other hand reaching around in a big circle. You can do an extreme reach or a nice loose free reach. Whatever feels good to you right now. Take a little bit of time for yourself here and breathe deep. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. Two more times. One more time. And float that hand down to the floor next to your hips and stretch your legs out. Let's take a moment to just lean back against our arms and let the legs be extended forward. I'm going to scoop the camera back a little bit so you can see my feet, in case you need to know what's happening with the feet, the ankles, the toes. Hopefully you can see. And we're really just leaning back against our arms. Hands are planted on the floor somewhere behind the hips and out to the side. And just allow yourself to really sink down. Elbows take the weight. Wrists on the floor take the weight of the upper body. Shoulders scrunching up by your neck, by your earlobes. Allow that scrunch to be complete. And let's shift, look to the left and shift your shoulders front and back a little bit. Coming forward. Then we look to the right. And look to the left. Keeping everything in the lower body very comfortable and loose and heavy and released. Look left, shifting the shoulders. Look right, shifting the shoulders. Take your time, breathe. If anything feels really like, ooh, that's a nice release to tension in my upper back, you can stay there for a moment. You don't have to go back and forth. You can stay, hang out, and let the body sink into that sweet release. Good breathing. Beautiful. All right, let's sit tall again. And again, if you feel like you want to pull the flesh away from your sitting bones to connect your weight of your torso down into the earth, I recommend you do that. And let's float the arms up for an upward reach. And act like you're pulling apples out of the tree. One arm and then the other. Reach it up. And keep breathing. Reach up and really grab that imaginary apple or mango or pear, whatever you're imagining, and yank it down with some strength in your shoulder and upper arm. Bicep and tricep doing some work here. Reach it up and pull it down. Reach it up, yank it down. Keep breathing. Both arms float up. Reach tall. And imagine you're reaching for the ceiling. Look up at the ceiling. Both arms reaching up. Big breath in. And float the hands down as you exhale. Let them rest on your thighs. Palm up, fingers curled. Round your back. Drop your head. And slowly begin to walk your hands down towards your ankles on top of your legs, allowing the body to fall forward in a forward fold. You can let your knees be slightly bent and your feet flop outwards. Drop the head, let the neck release. Let the head be so heavy, don't hold it at all. You're welcome to stay here if this feels awesome for you, or if you want, you can try walking your hands over to the left. Bring both hands to the outside of your left leg, onto the floor, and then reach with your inner arm. If you're off on the left side of your left leg, reach with your right arm. Reach, and maybe draw a circle in the air with those fingertips. Awesome. Come back to the floor and walk back to the middle. You can let one hand rest on each leg and drop the head. And let's walk our hands over to the right. Both hands on the outside of your right leg on the floor. Calm down. Reaching with the inner hand, that would be your left hand if you're on the right side. Reach. Feel the stretch through your armpit and shoulder, elbow, fingertips. Maybe draw a circle in the air with your fingertips. Reach and breathe. And hands to the floor, come back to the center, and allow yourself to really sink down even deeper into your forward fold. Very soft and very heavy. Let your head be so heavy, let it go all the way down. And when you're ready, slide your hands up your legs towards your hips and bring yourself up. That was awesome. Wow, we're getting some rain here in St. Martin this morning. We need it. So I'm not going to complain about rain on St. Martin as long as it's that gentle rain, right? Right, Annie? All right. So at this time, we're going to stretch our legs forward again and connect to the earth at the hips. You can flex those ankles and really try and get those tips of the toes to point back towards your forehead. At the same time, squeeze your shoulders back a bit and push the chest forward. Push the sternum and the heart forward. So it's a very extreme, erect position. And I want you to think about the backs of your knees opening up, receiving energy from the earth. The backs of the knees are super soft and receptive tissue. And it's really good to stretch back there. If you cannot get your legs straight, if your knees are bent a little bit, I would suggest you try putting a pillow underneath your knees so that you have something to push against and you can release them a little bit. All right, let's reach up again. Reach up and really flex those ankles and really straighten the back. Really reach up, breathe in. And we're just going to bring the hands from vertical to a slight diagonal of forward reach, as if your fingertips are reaching for the top of the wall across the room. At the same time, look down at your feet so your neck is not cranked up into a big bend at the base of the skull. So look down at your feet or your ankles or the floor in front of your feet. And we want an extreme reach from tailbone to fingertips here. Reach, 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 reach. Breathe in and bring it back up to vertical. Reach up. Exhale, go for that diagonal reach again. Look down at your feet and reach, 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 and come back up. Breathe in and exhale. We go for that diagonal reach again and come on back up. Let those arms float down. Maybe roll your shoulders. Roll them up by your earlobes, squeeze them back, bring them way down. Physically pull your shoulders down towards the earth, creating space between your shoulders and your earlobes. And then forward, as if the front of your chest is shaped a little bit like a U. Up, back, down, and forward. Breathe. Wonderful release of stress. We hold a lot of stress in our shoulders and neck and upper back, yes? All right, if you want, you can reverse your circle. And let's relax for a moment. We're going to bend one leg. This is my right leg. Bring it up and put it on the floor, put the foot on the floor, and then take it off to the side. And bring your arm, shoulder, and elbow inside that leg, inside that knee. Hands on the floor on either side of your other leg, your straight leg, and walk your fingers down. Go as far as you want. Drop your head. Release the weight of your head to hang down towards earth. And then hands to the floor. Walk back up one step. Take your inner elbow and push it up towards the knee, and put your fingertips down towards your ankle, looking down at your knee. Just push that knee back with your elbow. Just a little bit. Gentle, gentle, always so gentle. Careful, respectful, loving. We love our bodies. We love and are grateful for our life. And this body is how we go through life. And it's a good body. It's a good, strong vessel to take us through our days and nights and through our life. So we are grateful for this body with no judgment. Let's try doing that on the other side. Bend the knee, put the foot on the floor, and move it out to the side. Bring the elbow and the shoulder on the inside of that knee. And hands on the floor on either side of your long extended leg. Walk your fingers down as far as you want to go, and then drop the head. Release the weight of the head down to hang down towards the earth. All right, let's take one step back with the hands and bring that elbow up to meet the knee on the inside of the knee, and the fingertips reaching down for the ankle or the arch of the foot, right there in that soft middle of the foot. Push it back, looking down, gentle and soft. And beautiful. Hand to the floor. Walk yourself all the way back up. Now let's get ready to ease down onto our back sides, onto the floor. Take a moment to settle in. Have your knees bent and your feet kind of close to your hips. Arms can come into any position that feels good. I personally love the surrender pose. Bent at the elbows. Some people call it cactus arms. And we're just going to let the feet move a little bit here. Bring the toes up and flex the ankles, and then put the toes on the floor and lift the ankles. Feet, heels down, toes up, toes down, heels up. 2 more times. Flex, feel that calf muscle stretch a little bit as you bring those toes up. Nice breath. Let's try 1 up, 1 down. 1 heel, 1 toe up, and then switch. 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 And switch. All right. Bring your knees to your chest and cross at the ankles. And then reach down and grab onto your big toes. And once you grabbed your big toes, allow yourself to rock left and right. Alright, let's reach the arms and legs up into the air and circle the ankles and circle the wrists. You can change direction whenever you want. You can go around and around or switch back and forth a lot and eventually transition to flex and point ankles and wrists. Awesome. Let's hold the flex and bring the elbows and knees down, and then bring it back up and reach for the ceiling. And flex, elbows and knees down. And when I say elbows and knees down, I just really want to suggest that your knees go wide as if they're aiming towards your armpits. Something we call sort of a frog squat. And if you're just dropping your feet to your hips and keeping the knees stationary, I think you can do a little bit more to open the hips and widen the pelvis. So that's my suggestion. So we're going to bring the elbows and knees up and down. Pistons up and down. Push it up, bring it down. 10 more times up and down. Squeezing it up and reach. Squat down. 9, 8, keep breathing. 7, 6, and 5. This is for you. Make it feel good. 4, do what needs to be done to make your body just a little bit healthier with more circulation. 3, 2, and 1. Let's try and reach for the ceiling with the fingers and the toes now, and bring the shoulders and hips up off the ground. Bring the top of the head to reach for the ceiling as well. Reaching up, but keep breathing. And then take your fingertips and put them right behind your knees and close your knees on your fingertips, and then pull the knees away from the chest. We're still up in the air on the middle of the back with the head lifted and the hips and shoulders lifted. Pull the knees away from your chest, straightening your arms. And then kick your legs and start to rock on a rounded back like a rocking chair. Just rock from shoulders to hips. 3 more times. Rock back and forth. And see if you can come up onto your hips for a balancing position called boat pose. Holding your boat. Pull the knees towards your shoulders. Lift your chest forward. Lift your face. Pull the shoulders back. Toes pointing up towards the ceiling. And the lower legs are kind of parallel to the floor here. Let's just hold the boat pose for this morning. And then come back onto your back. And put those feet on the floor near your hips again. Bring your arms back for any position that's comfortable. We're going to drop both knees to the left and take a well-deserved rest. as you sit with your knees pointing left, you might want to turn your nose to the right, if it's okay with your neck and shoulders. And just visualize your spine with this lovely, gentle twist from tailbone to neck. Not an extreme spinal twist, just a light, slight one. And let's let everything be super heavy through the hips and belly and shoulders and chest. Keep breathing. When you're ready, bring the knees up and bring them all the way to the other side. And maybe turn your head. Knees to the right, nose to the left, if it's okay with your neck. If you feel like you have to work to keep your head turned to the left, you can just look up at the ceiling, or you can turn your head to be pointing in the same direction as your knees. Make everything fit what's needed. The body will tell you what you need. Take a scan through your spine. Is anything feeling like you're holding? Maybe you feel like you're arching your back up just a little bit. See if you can let everything go. Release. Trust yourself enough to let go. You don't need to be ready. That fight or flight instinct, that sense of needing to always be ready, it's helpful sometimes, but not during our yoga class. No, let it go. Nice, wonderful. Come onto your back and let's stretch the arms and legs out, reaching overhead with the fingertips and pointing the toes. And this is the yawning stretch that is instinctive. Just stretch and reach and yawn, sigh. All right, bring those knees up again and put those feet on the floor, hands next to your hips, and we lift the hips up into the air. Once your hips are up into the air, you can maybe just readjust the location of your feet so you feel well supported. Once you really feel well supported with your feet on the ground, lift your hips up as high as they'll go and notice your chest rising to meet your chin. That's awesome. We're going to pump it up and drift down. Squeeze it up, squeeze the buttocks and lift the hips up and drop down. Pushing your feet into the floor, lift the hips up and drop it down. Let's go 5 more times. Up and down. Squeeze up and down. And up and down. Feet pressing into the floor. Push the hips up. Float down. And last time up and down. Bring the knees all the way, the hips to the floor, and bring the knees to the chest. Bring your hands to your knees. Squeeze the knees into the shoulders or into the chest. If you want, your knees can drift apart, letting your pelvis open. Awesome. Bring together. Bring both hands to your left knee and squeeze that into your chest. Stretch your right leg out on the floor. And then straighten up your left leg towards the ceiling and interlock your fingers at your knee or your thigh, or just grab your leg. If your knee is bent, it's okay. Don't worry about that. We're going to slowly, carefully, gently move the leg a little closer to the face, feeling a stretch in the back of the hamstring and hip. And then release it and let it drift back to your sort of comfort zone. And slowly, carefully find your flexibility here. Breathe, breathe. As you exhale, the leg comes closer to your face, and as you inhale, it drifts away back to your comfort zone. Take your time, be gentle. Appreciate the leg and the hip. No body shaming, no comparisons, no competition. Just appreciate this leg, how it supports you, it works with you, it does the best it can, just like every other part of the body. It's here for you. Now, in your yoga, you're here for it. Keep breathing and find that full range of motion. Let's hold the leg close to the edge of your range of motion for a 30-second static stretch. So just find where the stretch is the most intense that you like. Nothing painful, nothing extreme, just a nice stretch, and we'll hold and breathe and continue to try and give the leg some time to relax and find its length through the tissues in the back of the leg. Encouraging circulation, encouraging everything to be functioning at its highest level. Awesome. Release the leg and let it drift slowly to the ground like the second hand of a clock. Slow, slow, slow and controlled. Once the leg and the heel finds the floor down there, we're going to do another long body stretch. Reach the arms overhead and yawn and sigh. And then bring both knees up to your chest again and grip those knees in your hands. Squeeze it in. Squeeze it in, and if you feel the urge to let your knees go wide, you can do that, letting the inside of the thighs feel a nice stretch. And then bring them closed, and both hands to your other knee, right knee. Squeeze that in towards your chest and stretch your left leg out on the floor. Then we reach that right leg up towards the ceiling, interlock your fingers behind your knee or thigh, or just grab your leg in your hands. And gently, slowly, carefully, we pull the leg towards the face and release it back to your comfort zone. Some people like to use a strap for this. If you feel like that's helpful and you have a belt handy, you could use that. But I just really want to encourage you to try and use your hands if you can, because I find when people use the belt, they're a little too fast pulling the leg towards the face, a little too almost carelessly, and don't give the leg the gentleness that it deserves and the time it takes for the tissues to lengthen and stretch on their own. So try to be gentle with yourself here and find your full range of motion. Breathe a lot. Awesome. Let's hold the leg at or near the edge of your range of motion, that point where you feel the intensity of the stretch. And we just hold and breathe and try to relax for 30 seconds. Give the leg time to find its length and to release any tension. Keep breathing. Visualize your circulation being stimulated to go all the way to your toes, all the way to your fingertips, all the way to the top of the head, and back to the heart. Beautiful stretch. And then we release the leg and slowly let the leg drift down to the floor, slow like the second hand of a clock. Control, control, control. And once the foot finds the floor, we stretch the body long, reaching the arms overhead. Feel free to yawn or sigh. If you want, you can sort of do that apple picking stretch where one arm reaches up a little longer than the other, fingertips reach. Stretch one side and then the other. Beautiful, wonderful. All right, let's take the feet to the floor again, but this time the heels are not that close to the hips. And you're going to take your right leg and cross the ankle on the knee. Take your hand and push that knee away from the chest. Gently push that thigh away. All right, just let that hand come to the floor next to your hip. Your other hand is reaching up, just a gentle upward reach with the elbow slightly bent. And take the knee and the foot over to the left, all the way to the floor. And then let your whole body roll over on your left side. And this is your nice, gentle spinal twist. A little more extreme than the one we did where both knees were bent and just flopped over to the left. Here we're really rolling over onto our left side. And again, if you feel like it's good for you, you can turn your head to look up at the ceiling or even look back over your back shoulder a little bit. And I'm encouraging you now to just let go of any tension in the body and breathe deep. Breathe deep through the nose into the belly. And when you exhale, just let it all go like a deflating balloon. Turn both hands so the palms are facing up. Fingers are curled. And feel free to reposition anything, arms, legs, feet, head, neck, shoulders, hips. Do anything that helps you relax more, makes you feel more settled, more released. When you're ready, roll on your back. Feet come to the floor, not too close to the hips. Knees bent, but not an extreme bend. Bringing your left ankle to your right knee, reach up and push the knee away from your chest, from your head. Push the thigh away from the belly. And then bring that hand to the floor next to your hip and tip over onto your right side. Both feet are on the floor and the knee reaches for the floor. Maybe it finds the floor, maybe it hovers an inch or two above the floor. This is your reclined spinal twist. Make it yours. Adjust everything so it feels super healing and very comfortable. Take both hands and turn the palm up. Readjust the position of your arms so everything can let go. Maybe the head looks left, or maybe it just looks up. And either of those don't feel right, you can turn the head all the way to the floor to release your neck and shoulders 100%. Breathing in through the nose, fill the belly and chest and throat. And then exhale, deflate the balloon, let everything go with a big, gentle. Let everything release down to the floor, down to the earth. Let's roll on our backs and slowly make our way up to seated. Coming back to our comfortable seated position where we started our yoga hour. Let's roll the shoulders. Bring your hands to your shoulders and roll. Bring the elbows back, down, forward, and up. Squeeze it back, down, forward, and up. And reverse. Forward, down, squeeze it back, and all the way up so that your elbows almost look like the ears of a fox. Straight up. Forward, down, squeeze it back, and all the way up. Awesome. Float the arms out. Turn the hands palm up and breathe in. Lift. Reaching up with the fingertips, find your prayer and pull it down to your heart, keeping elevated through the spine. Just bow the head. Turn sideways so you can see what's happening. You might want to get that strap belt or even just a piece of fabric will work. You can reach back behind your tailbone and grab onto that fabric. The idea here is to get your hands as close together as you can and still straighten your elbows. And once you get your elbows straight and your shoulders squeezing back, I want you to focus on your shoulder blades. Squeeze your shoulder blades together back there and lift your face and breathe in. Exhale, bow your head. You can let your hands drift down an inch or two towards the floor as you bow your head and exhale. And then lift the face, breathe in, and lift the hands up just a little bit. And squeeze it down. Bow your head, exhale. And up. And down. Time, squeeze it up and bring it down. Release your arms and give yourself a hug. Walk your fingers just a little bit farther back behind your shoulders and sway. Notice which arm is on top and bring the arms out and back and then give yourself a hug with the other arm on top. Walk your fingers back just a hair behind your shoulders if possible and we sway. All right, lift the elbows up and look at the ceiling. Point your elbows up and open the arms up like a tulip blooming and bring it down. I'm going to change the music. Let's get up on hands and knees. Today's music is courtesy of Songs of Eden. Check them out. They're awesome for exercise music, yoga, Pilates, dance, and it's on YouTube. Anybody can get it for free. Those hands are right under the shoulders and the fingers are spread wide. If you're more comfortable with your hands just a little bit forward of the shoulders, that's okay. Knees are more or less under the hips and you feel strong on the floor, strong table. Arch the back up and drop the head and tailbone. Feel that decompression in the middle of the back where the spine and those little discs between the vertebrae. Get a minute to decompress and expand. And then slowly drop the back and lift the head, lift the tailbone. Let the middle of the back hang down like a hammock. Squeeze those discs just a hair, just a little bit in the middle of the back. And take a moment to notice, don't slump in the shoulders and neck. Push the hands strongly into the floor at all times during this cat and cow exercise. Arch it up, sway it down. Drop the head, drop the tailbone. Lift the face, lift the tailbone. Sink the middle of the back down. Cat and cow. And breathe. back to a nice flat back. Let's look around the left shoulder and try and see your left hip. Stick that hip out. If you don't see it, it's okay. Come around, look around the right shoulder or the right hip, stick the hip out and look for it, and then back to the left side. As you go left and right, you can go any speed that feels good to you. Fast or slow, it's cool, no problem. You might want to bend your opposite elbow and dip that shoulder down. Turn your head over to look for that hip around the shoulder. Let's go with the music here. Side to side. Real good stretch on one side and then the other with the hips moving, the shoulders moving, the head and neck moving. Keep breathing. Keep it going. All right, let's come back to the center and back to cat and cow. Arch and sway. All right, come back to your table. Take one step forward with your hands, and we're going to go back and forward. Do not let your shoulders pass your wrists. Back. It's slow, it's not fast. Hips go back by the heels almost all the way down, and then drift your shoulders forward. The next time we're going to come all the way down into our tummies. Lower down. And turn your head to one side. Let your fingers point in at each other and the elbows out. Pick your hips up. Pick your feet up. And bend the knees. And we're just going to take the feet left and right like windshield wipers. We're going to stay loose through the hips. Flip and flop the feet left and right, back and forth. Loose and free, letting the spine, the lower back, and hips be free and loose. All right, take those heels in a big circle. Heels by your hips, really squeeze them towards the hips. Take it to the right and down. Toes to the floor, take it to the left, up by the hips, and around we go. Take your time. Go the other way around your circle. And then bring the toes to the floor, hands to the floor under your shoulders. And press yourself up, slowly come into pose of a child. Knees are bent, hips come to heels. Walk your hands forward, forehead to the floor. And slowly rise up onto your knees and elbows. We're going to take that right leg back and put the toes on the floor. Can you see me? Put the toes on the floor and push the heel back, straight leg. I really suggest you can get that knee straight here. Stretch that calf muscle, stretch that Achilles tendon, keep pushing back. Feel the stretch in the arch of the foot all the way up to the knee. Push back, keep straight, keep breathing. And when you're ready, you can lift that leg up into the air and let it go as high as it wants to. Bend and extend. Kick or bend and extend with control. Whatever feels good to you. And let's bend the knee and try and put the foot on the ceiling. Push it up, 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 up. And up, up, One more time, up, knee to the floor, pose of a child. Come down, forehead to the floor, hips to heels. Back to elbows and knees. Push, straighten out your left leg, put the toes on the floor, and push back through your left heel. Straighten that knee. Wonderful stretch for the calf muscle, the Achilles tendon, and the arch of the foot. Keep breathing, keep pushing back. It's quite an extreme push, quite an extreme stretch. It's really, really good for your foot. It's good for your calf muscle. It's good for your leg. Keep doing it. Keep breathing. Straight leg. Push the heel back. Don't stop. And then when you're ready, lift the leg up into the air. Let it go as high as it wants to. And bend and extend. Bend the knee and put your foot on the ceiling. Lift it up. 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 Straight up. Keep going. Up. 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 And up. 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 Two more. One more. Knee to the floor. Let's let our knees go wide. Big toes touching. Pose of a child with the wide knees. Ease it back. When you're ready, rise back up all the way to table. And we're going to draw a vertical circle in the air with the navel, with the belly button. So drop it down. Take that belly button over to the right. Lift it up. And take it over to the left. Drop it down. You can soften your elbows here. They don't have to be straight. Big as you can. A vertical circle with your belly button. Push it down to the right. Squeeze it up as high as it'll go and bring it back to the left and down. And change direction. Take the right, drop it down, go to the left and lift it up. Nice. Arch and sway back to cat and cow. When you're ready, come to a nice strong table and let's get ready for downward dog. We're going to put the toes on the floor and start with hovering table. Just lift your knees 1 inch and slowly straighten the legs. Drop the head, turn into that upside down V shape. Push your heels down if you can. And push your hips up and back. Drop the head. Imagine your rib cage is reaching for your thighs. All right, we're going to drop the knees down all the way down to hovering table. And down and up. Downward dog, hovering table. And push the hips back. Tuck the tailbone under. Knees almost to the floor. And lift it and push back. Two more times. One more time. Knees to the floor. And find yourself coming onto a seated position. Let's take a straddle sit to end our class. All right. Take a moment to really settle in a comfortable straddle position. And let's try to consider alignment of the chakras. Now, what are chakras? It sounds very touchy-feely, oogie-doogie, but it's actually just awareness centers. That's all it is. Oh, your awareness of yourself. So we'll start at the root chakra, the base of your spine, the base of your torso, open to the earth and well supported. And I love aligning the chakras when we're in a straddle position because so much of your body is in contact with the earth. Backs of the legs, the softness in the behind the knees, the heels, and of course the base of the torso. So we're going to try and pull energy up into the body. So squeeze the Kegel, squeeze up and pull everything up. Pull the energy of the earth up. The root chakra is your sense of safety and your sense of connection and your base, your support. And also when people say, you know, you're flying by the seat of your pants, that's the sense of yourself. You know your gravity right there, your connection. So then above that we have our sacral chakra, which is full of juices of life and all of your sex organs and all of your creativity and all of your digestive processes. So this is the ocean part of the body where the tides sway, the fluids are able to move when you dance. You feel very connected here. And then we're going to rise up. So we bring the energy up, pull it up, and bring it to your solar plexus. This is your confidence, your strength, the place that you tense if you think you need to defend yourself. Strengthen your confidence by tightening your solar plexus and pull the energy up from the earth to support that part of yourself that is your defense, your core, your confidence, your strength. And of course, above that we go to our heart. Beautiful, warm, loving, empathetic, a sense of your, maybe your soul lives here, your spirit. Everybody knows the head and the heart. There are these other awareness centers in the body that are in this column that connect the earth and heaven. So we go from the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart, and then we go to the throat. This is your voice, your ability to communicate, and I find that it's very interesting that your confidence and your voice are connected through your heart directly. So we need to connect confidence and love in order to speak our truth. Let's bring the energy up from the earth through our column all the way to our third eye chakra. And this is your anja, your center of your forehead, your intelligence, your intellect, your mind, your thinking mind. This is what most people think of as their personality, their inner voice. So that's one we're very familiar with. And then above your head, just here, is your crown chakra, which is the source of inspiration and blessings and insight and all that we are grateful for that comes into our life just as grace. So let's connect earth and heaven and lift the arms up. Breathe in and reach. Feel the entire column. Pull energy up from the base of your torso all the way to your crown chakra. Feel your heart, feel your throat, and arms float down. Beautiful. Come back to your comfortable position. Hands to prayer pose. And I'll leave you with this thought for the day and for the rest of the week, that if you are living in alignment with your true values, what you value, what you decide is the most important thing in your life. You spend your words, your time, your energy, your actions, your life energy in alignment with those true values that you believe. then you will be blessed, and your energy and your life will be aligned with your true purpose, and the blessings will flow. Abundance will come. How could it not? You're on your true path. And we're oh so easily taken away from that by the pressures of all the things that influence us. Commercials, media, other people, bosses, family members. And those are all fine, but don't forget what you truly believe. Stay true to yourself and give yourself a break. Everybody, we're just doing the best we can. Give everybody a break. Thank you so much for joining me for yoga today. Have a wonderful day. See you on Tuesday, and I'm sending you all my love. Mwah. Bye-bye.